Good morning. What is shaking? What is happening? Welcome back to day 17 of our cruise around the world. Today, very busy sea day. All right, so in stark contrast to yesterday, today is an insanely busy sea day. I have this at 9. C is still learning about the boats in the Bible. Apparently today they're going to move on to boat number 2 because they've spent a few days talking about Noah's Ark. I've learned all kinds of facts about Noah's Ark too that she will come back and tell me. Fun stuff. So we have this at 9. There's a cooking demo at 10. There's the port talk at 11. It's a special buffet today for lunch. There's a talk about the internet at 1, and at 2 I am one of the millions of people that use CapCut, and it is no longer available. So at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock I'm going to be learning a new editing software. So there's that. So busy sea day. And then everyone, I think the ship is pretty much going to go to bed early tonight. We're not expected to hit Easter Island until 10 a.m. tomorrow, but tender tickets are competitive from what I hear and what I've read from past cruises. They are very competitive to get one, so you have to be in that line early. So I know we're going to probably call it an early night tonight, but we will probably still go to the headline show. So busy day coming up for us. Alright, so our day is starting off with a very busy coffee with Kimberly. It is Hank, the hotel general manager, who is retiring after this cruise. They're setting up additional chairs because they expect this to be so busy. So, should be interesting. We met him on Zatterdam last year, but just very, very briefly. But he is a very, very nice guy. He's got a very nice family because they sail with him, or his wife sails with him. So, should be interesting. He spent a lot of years with Holland. Coffee with Kimberly is over. It was not so much about Hank, and it was a whole lot about Easter Island, which is fine. We got some great useful information about it. So it's like they moved the tender ticket spot tomorrow. There's no priority tendering tomorrow. So no 4-star, 5-star priority tender, no Club Orange. None of that. So they want everyone to have an equal and fair shot. They say it's still looking good, but he said everyone has to have patience, everyone has to stay fluid, and they are going to determine, and he used the term agile, and he said, I hope this term doesn't offend anyone, but they will determine if you are agile enough to do this process. So, interesting. I hope they can redo his coffee talk to make it more about him, just because he is such an interesting guy, and he's been such a valuable team member, or crew member, or whatever they call them, for Holland for so many years. Something I've noticed about Holland, a lot of their people have been with this company forever, so it must be a fantastic company to work for. But now it's the cooking demo. Kimberly did explain why we are having a regular, Holland-style head chef cooking demonstration. It's because there was a challenge with the regional one for this area, boarding something with a visa. So they pivoted, and they're going to do a cooking demo the standard way that Holland does it, and we will pick up regional chefs later in the voyage. So we ended up leaving the talk a little early. It was packed to the point Kimberly was like, all right, raise your hand if you have seats beside you so people can see where seats are available. There's no sitting in the stairs, but we sat in the balcony and there were people sitting on the staircase. So we left after the captain talked. because he kind of explained the tendering process and how they decide how to do it and what's going to be the no-goes. But essentially, it's still just a wait-and-see game of how everything's going to work out. The tender ticket has been moved to the main dining room for tomorrow, so on the 3rd level, so we'll just have to see how it all works out. But that talk is going to be available later on the television, so we're just going to watch it there. And it's starting to become one of those, I think the less we know, the better off we are, because they're making this tender process seem very, very scary. So, not necessarily for me, but I could see where others are getting scared, which includes it's making her a little nervous. Whereas if we just went and did it and it was more than we expected, I think we would be okay. But people react to things different ways, so I understand why they're doing what they're doing. I'm not saying that it's a bad idea. It's just, at this point, we've learned we need to take ourselves out of the information and just kind of put it in God's hands. But today is a special rib and wing buffet, and the television has started reworking, so looking good. Alright, so here we are in the main dining room. I had full intention to do some work in the room this afternoon, but when we got back from lunch, first off, I forgot about the 1 o'clock lecture I wanted to go to. But then we got back to the room after lunch, the AC didn't work, so we ended up at the pool. But my Peruvian sunburn is all done, so I was good. And yes, I'm still using plenty of sunscreen. But here we are at dinner. And then we have the NCAA championship tonight at 7:30. They're doing a big event in the Rolling Stone Lounge. So it's going to be one big food evening, which is, we're having a big food day today. Go us. All right, appetizers have arrived. So you went with the shrimp cocktail. I went with the French onion soup. Now, Holland doesn't do the big cheese bake-over. Honestly, okay with that. I'm not a huge fan of cheese in that soup. Sometimes it's just a little too much. So they put cheese on a little, piece of bread crostini thing, and it just makes the cheese process so much more manageable. I like it. All right, entrees have arrived. So you got a modified turkey dinner. Now, we did have Thanksgiving on the New Amsterdam, and the turkey was amazing. Hers looks really good. I would love to tell you what's missing out of it for being modified, but I cannot think of what it is at the top of my head, but it looks delicious nonetheless. For me, I went with the comfort food, and I got a chicken pot pie. Now, yes, turkey stuffing, the Thanksgiving dinner thing, is also comfort food, but, chicken pot pie. Let's warm the soul. First off, my 2 courses were some of the hottest food I have been served in this main dining room. Fresh off the line hot. Very good. But dessert has now arrived. So you got a fruit plate, which is frowning. Let's turn that frown upside down. There we go. Just a little bit. Now it's smiling. Yay, she got a smiley fruit plate. And I got the red velvet cake. Look at that. All right, so we're not going to do the headline show tonight. We are back in the Rolling Stone Lounge to do Cocktails with Kimberly. It's the same guy that performed last night. Then after that, it will turn into the college national football game. They've got a buffet set up, but they're not putting out the food yet, obviously, because it's a different event. So, something different. So, looking good. Gonna call it an evening. I decided to do my out tonight on the balcony to show you just how bright it is. It is 8:33, 8:39, and this is what it looks like. Just to show you, 8:40 p.m. New York time, because we are still in Eastern Standard Time, because this area of the world is in Eastern Standard Time this time of the year. You would think this is like an Alaska cruise, but the sun doesn't set until really late. But seriously, in our coffee chat today, some guy asked, like, we've been sailing west for like 3 days now, why haven't we changed times? And they said this is just a very big time zone. But when I Googled it, they did say certain areas of South America stay in Eastern time zone for half the year and Western time zone for the other half. We just happen to be here when it's the Eastern time zone. So we get beautiful sunshine until late at night. But we had a really, really good day today. Lots of good food, wings and rib buffet. That is so hard to say. Try saying that 3 times fast. I bet you can't do it. Spectacular, very, very good. Dinner was great. Then the food at the, well, just in general, let's talk about the football party. First off, Holland paid like $5,200 to have that game beamed into this cruise ship because we have crossed the part where we cannot get ESPN. We ran into this on our Hawaii Marquesas tour that once we left the Hawaiian Islands, we couldn't get ESPN anymore. I think it's because it's ESPN Caribbean. It won't come out here this far out in the Pacific. So they had to pay for us specifically to get this game. So thank you to Holland for that, because it's a pretty good game. It's only like the second quarter right now, but it came up to film a little bit. Lots of good information about Easter Island and the tender process. Also, I did my affidavit wrong for Chile, but it was electronically. I put in the wrong port. So when I went to guest services to confirm the port, he said, oh no, that's the wrong one. You need to be this port. He goes, and honestly, it's just better to do the paper because you have to present it at the port and there's no Wi-Fi out there. So unless your phone is actually going to work, it's just better to have the paper with you for the 2 days. And so I will now just do the paper, but lots of great information. Everyone is still very hopeful that we're going to make it on for the 2 days that we are there, but we shall see. It's also crazy to think that this nice looking sea that we see right now will tomorrow create 4-foot swells or higher that could possibly make Easter Island a not happen for us. That is the chance you take when you choose to take a cruise to Easter Island, though, is it might not work out for you. But Easter Island only has a very small airport. It offers 2 locations for flights that I could find. One was Papeete, Tahiti, which is ironically our very next stop after Easter Island, and the other is back in Chile because that is who owns the country. People fly back to their major town there, major city there. So, but great evening, great time. There was a huge turnout of people for the game. There's people doing push-ups, just like you would if you were at a college game. They had a nice little spread of food. Everyone was there. Good time. So, but me personally, I'm calling it an early night. Sea is not too far behind me because we need to be up early tomorrow for the tender process. It's a little different tomorrow. No priority tendering. Everyone's got to get a tender ticket unless you're on a Holland America excursion. That's an early one. The afternoon people are on their own. And we'll just see. We'll see if tomorrow we make it on. So make sure you hit that notification button, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and just keep following us along for the adventures. Oh, and our AC works and the television works. So see what we get tonight. But have a great night. Hopefully your night's a little bit darker than mine. Bye.